Hi-oh, beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Critscast. We're in the first week of the ETF2L Highlander season 27. This is, of course, a little bit of Premiership action.
Here we go. Setup time has begun.
So there's quite an important thing we should probably run through. We'll have a quick rundown of the roster, shall we? I'll go first. I'll lead in with Twice. Have taken the season off. They're back. They are going to be defending on the red this time around. They line up today as Wish on Scout, Dima Soldier, Pyro is going to be Dealt, Sammy of course on the Demo Man, Odin Heavy Weapons Guy, Rambosaur Engineer, June is going to be healing, Buko is sniping, and of course Axio on Spy. What are we seeing from FANATIC here, Refleks?
From FANATIC we're having Scout on Shadow playing the Scout class, Matzer on Soldier, K-Cam on Pyro, Kiddo on Demo Man, Elysioner on Heavy, Lil Jessica on Engineer, Hu Tao from Genshin Impact on Medic, Piku on Sniper, and Fishka on the Spy.
Okay, 10 seconds till we kick off, Refleks. What is your prediction? This is of course a best of 3. What are you saying?
Well, to be honest, my predictions is gonna kind of follow Twice here with the big bets on the Twitch chat right here. Seems like Twice will be, at least I think Twice will do very good, perhaps even win this.
Okay, well, we're going to see, of course, defending first is going to be Twice with FANATIC on the assault. They send their Demo Man in super deep, gets up in the air, but slightly discoordinated with Matza. They've created a little bit of chaos, but haven't even managed to get a graze on June thus far. And they get cleaned up pretty rapid, trying to push over the hill. Our FANATIC just slowly tinkering this cart forward. Not letting up Twice just yet. They do lose their scout, so a little bit of positional gone down. So just going to have to wait for their spawners and see how they want to try and disassemble this Twice defense.
Yeah, you're going to need a really good pick here when you're pushing on upward, especially as the attacking team. You're going to have to need a very crucial class on the defending team to be down so you can make your push at least a bit more easier. We do see everyone starting to prepare a decent push here. Both sides still have their Ubers. No one has been dropped yet, no med, but it seems like Team FANATIC will be trying to push in here, going for that Uber, and they will be starting to push in with that Uber. The exchange is happening right now. Not much really going on, but we do see some picks going down, K-Cam going down, and it seems like this is a complete wipe for Team Twice.
Yeah, Delt did a really solid job from Twice's perspective, managing to reflect those players just out of the way, and it means that they don't have to back on the second. We all know that ultimately the whole point of this first setup is not necessarily to hold it for a million years. It's to enable yourself to get a real solid go in on that second point. As we see, we've come to our first pause about a minute and 10 seconds into the first round, so I think we'll take that. That's probably a record. Yeah, it's a real congested pocket here, so we know we've got a bit of a waiting time. We do see the game kicking back into action, which we certainly cannot grumble about. We do see the banner coming out from Dima, so looks like they want to get a little bit of position here, trying to apply a little bit of pressure to these forward players from FANATIC. They don't manage to pick up any frags, but what they have done is off the back of that sort of failed push attempt and the good deflection from Deltas, they've managed to get themselves a nice bit of position up front. They do lose their sentry gun, carried by Rambosaur. So that's unfortunate for Twice, and definitely going to be a big tool for them knocked out. So we're going to have to see what the FANATIC approach is going to be this time. They're getting a lot closer with Axio also going down for Twice.
Yeah, but Twice still has that Uber. They can still hold it for a bit longer, perhaps even go for a med pick with this Uber, but it seems like they will still be milking the Uber as much as they can, hoping for perhaps FANATIC to be making a bad play here. There's a lot of damage and spam coming down, and Fishka will be successfully getting it backstab on June, just dropping that Uber, leaving FANATIC to be at a max Uber ad right here. They're just going to completely take over first here, and it seems like Twice will have to set up on second.
Yeah, this is definitely the best case scenario here. You've got that full Uber advantage. You can leverage that to sort of not only take second, but also get the ball rolling on third. We all know that second, particularly if you can get control of that hill on the defending side, you're in a really good stead to sort of get the clock moving forward. So yeah, they are ready to just charge forward, try and make a little something out of something. So they've got their heels far forward, very little pressure applied from Twice. They are not overcommitting here. They're just concerned about getting set up on third. They've been very sensible, very wise there. So we'll have to see what this brings around. But of course, the first point wasn't captured in any impressive amount of time, so it could just be a bit of a leveling of the playing field in this first round.
That is true indeed. We do see Team Twice holding very aggressively on third here. Oh, it seems like they will actually be backing away after Team FANATIC showed some pressure up here. Will be setting up indeed on third, but will FANATIC be moving quick? Doesn't seem so. Both sides are at a complete equal uber here, and just trying to get a play here with Piku trying to land a sneaky pick on the enemy gamers, and Axio unfortunately being caught by the Pyro going down. And oh, we do see Banner being popped though. Entire combo for Twice, pushing in, not really much success out of that one. Unfortunately, Delph going down during the push, and it seems like gonna have to back away and set up again.
Yeah, so the cart very slowly trundling forward. Both teams do have the Uber charge in hand. Fisker trying to make a little something on the combo of Twice, but they've lost their flank and their Pyro. That's a lot of protection for June gone down. Definitely opens up a lot of space for FANATIC to try and edge their way in here. And it looks like they just want to get that cart trundling forward just a little bit more before they go for their assault. But those flank players still being out for Twice is going to present a little bit of a challenge for the defending side as it stands. So Matza does get picked off by Odin. Again, it's slightly misconstrued there, but we're going to have to see what the approach is going to be once more for FANATIC. Then moving forward with Kidu on the Demo Man. Gets a fair old wedge of damage up, but the Uber popped well in advance. June has only just popped in. There's only about 20% left of the FANATIC Uber. They're running over down this hill. They're just going to be focused on trying to eliminate these players, but K-Cam manages to knock two off of the cliff right at the end of that Uber charge there, so leaving the defending team in a real sorry state once again.
Yeah, but it seems like they will be in the sorry state they are, because they will be capping the point right now. Successfully, Lil Jessica managing to sneak that cap in whilst fighting Wish. No successful Wish there, and it seems like Twice will be setting up here on last. They did get wiped indeed, but luckily both sides are in equal uber, so it's a matter of who will get the tiles first. And it seems like both teams, Twice did get there first, and Piku getting a nice pick on Sammy right there. This might be a really good factor for them to push in on. And go on.
Yeah, they just completely disassembled their tile push. You know, there was definitely an opportunity for FANATIC to take it pretty early on when they had that insane player advantage. So it's just going to be a bit of a battle of brawn. Ellie ultimately doing more damage output than Odin that time around. So they've managed to secure upper for themselves. They've got the full Uber advantage in hand as well, and they're slowly taking control of this upper area. There's 3 players up from Twice. They're getting spawners as desperately as they possibly can. A really aggressive stance now coming out of FANATIC. They're just going to look to lock it off, but nobody is anywhere near this gap for them at the minute. They're just waiting for those players rolling out to try and get to as quickly as possible, and it's falling apart a little bit. They lose their medic to the drop, they lose their heavy, and all of that positioning has just fallen from grace. They're in the pub spot, applying insane amounts of pressure to these incoming players, and it looks like Twice have got a bit of a second wind in defending this last point. I thought it was all over.
Seems like they managed to bring it back for them, lucky for them, but FANATIC won't be going down without a fight. They will be trying to get back to where they were earlier on that good position. It seems like they will be taking down Delph during the process, and the team FANATIC Twice will be dropping down. Sammy unfortunately falling down to that cliff spot, and seems like they will be going under listener, trying to chase them down. Unfortunately being taken down, trying to pick for that go for that June pick. And yeah,
sorry, bud. Yeah, so we see Twice managed to get control of this top. We all know this is the position you want to be in when you are holding this last. And, you know, that little slip up from FANATIC on that attacking side, just a little bit of coordination slipping. We do see FANATIC now using the overcharge. They want to completely drain this swamp in tiles of all Twice players. We still see June and Sammy sitting at the top. They got 60% overcharge in hand. It is going to be a slight advantage to them. And seemingly those 2 players are going to be enough to lock it up. That cart's painfully close, but it's only really Shadow there on the cart. Nobody there to protect him, but also no resistance from Twice. They just get there within a nick of time, but this is getting pretty nails.
If it weren't for that pipe right there, it would have been all over for Team Twice. But it seems like people will still be trying to attempt to cap that point. Unfortunately, Lil Jessica going down to that as well. And the Uber will be forced Mr. Mats here, they're jumping in, forcing the June, leaving FANATIC to be at 65%. They're just gonna have to build this and perhaps try to make a good play out of that.
Yeah, Ubercharge advantage in hand for FANATIC. They've got control of this tiles as well. Sammy was tearing up a few trees back there, but they have been pushed back to reality. They're in the pub spot, so it's down to FANATIC. They've got a little bit of time to rotate. The Ubercharge is now in hand. 50% Uber away for Twice as well. The cart's slowly rolling backwards, and we're going to see what the approach is going to be. They've got all of their players in upper. It looks like they want to take a super forward Uber. Kidu and... oh no, the medic's isolated. Oh, that could have been potentially disastrous. The Ubercharge has just gone straight into the pyro at spawn. This is a really sticky spot, but the cart is progressing slowly but surely. And the pub spot proving to be as powerful as ever and just eliminate anyone they got within feet of that cart.
Hey, pub spot is unstoppable. But Shadow is sneaking in the cap though, winning FANATIC oh god, I'm missing out.
The first round.
Yeah, first round with 9 minutes 13 seconds, but we're moving on to defense though. It's time for FANATIC to defend for 9 minutes and 12 seconds. That push was pretty decent, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it was messy. There were some very evident coordination issues coming from FANATIC. We saw it on first with the sacks. We saw it when there was an opportunity for them to get into upper nice and early, and then we saw it again with those pushes. You know, Shadow was really keen to get on that cart, but there were a lot of instances where there's just absolutely no cover. There was no pressure on any of the spawn doors, and they just fell completely flat on their face with a couple of attempts there. You know, they had a real good bout of momentum a couple of times in that game, you know, when they managed to push all their way through second, and then when that opportunity first opened to get into that last, it looked like it was going to be curtains for Twice, but a 9-minute 12 time for FANATIC is... it's not to be sniffed at, but obviously it's not quick by any means, so we'll have to see what Twice's return is going to be on their offense here.
Exciting to see what Twice will be doing here when the game starts. I see that the gun is quite passive. They might want to run back to that. Pal is kind of staying back here, trying to sacks that might be inbound very soon here. But you do see the sacks are coming in right now. Not really much coming out of it, unfortunately. Sammy and Dima picked down, and FANATIC will still be standing strong on first.
Yeah, they're just buying a little bit of time, getting the cart moving forward. The sack, you know, they went nice and high. They got a decent chunk of damage going, but maybe slightly preemptive. The spy wasn't quite in the position he wanted to be in, so they're going to have another crack at the egg. The cart is still moving. They got their players moving forward slowly but surely, but it's actually going to be an Ubercharge. They are leading in with Sammy. The exchange comes out, but completely rejected straight away by the red pyro there. It's going to be a bit of a melee. They're all trying to get into each other. There's no high ground control at all from FANATIC here, so Twice very much in the open to start taking a little bit of space. The cart moving forward ever so surely, but there's a lot of players to deal with, and they're all very healthy in spite of their diminished numbers for FANATIC.
Feels a bit hopeless if you ask me. I think perhaps they should back away a bit and build that Uber, but it seems like they will still be going. They got more players now, and it seems like they will successfully be capping first. Team FANATIC will have to set up on second. Perhaps they will get a solid second hold this time. Have to wait and see what happens next.
Yeah,
but K-Cam takes the forward teleporter, unfortunately dies instantly by getting caught.
Oh, so there's no sentry gun up for FANATIC. Little Jessica overstayed their welcome just a little bit and got sniped off on the outlast. So their hill control has been slightly neutered by Twice. So just trying to erode them away, do a decent chunk of damage. We see, but the medic getting body shot there on the side FANATIC is definitely going to do them a lot of favors. The momentum now firmly in Twice's favor, going much more rapid than FANATIC were in this position last time around. They've got the full Uber advantage. They're on this second, and they are ready to keep the ball rolling. It's a pyro and demo up with a couple of spawners now for FANATIC, so Twice, they just need to make hay while the sun shines and try and get as deep as possible.
Yeah, they're just running all the way back to third now, team FANATIC that is, and seems like team Twice will be following, trying to get a solid push here. They do have a big ad, so It's going to require a very good pick from Team FANATIC here for it to be good here. Unfortunately, Fishka tried that, but no success for him. They will be using the Uber though, pushing in third right here, and we'll see how the exchange goes. Not really much luck on both sides. No crucial picks going down, but it does mean that FANATIC is at an Uber ad right now, but they don't have that much ground anymore. But nice shot right there by Piku, taking down June. That's going to buy them even more time to be defending here on third.
Yeah, the intent was definitely there from Twice as they pulled that Uber through. They were hoping to get a lot of frags, but not quite everyone was with the combo there. The cart wasn't quite moving as fast as you would have hoped for there, so the position they gained wasn't too much of an advantage to them. So they've just handed FANATIC a full Uber advantage on their side now. So they're going to have a couple cracks, try and disassemble this defense that they've got set up now on this third, and they're going really, really deep here. There's a good bit of rejection going on from the Red Pyro straight away here, but look at how aggro they are. The banner is popped. They're really keen to get this moving. They do get the force out of FANATIC there, and June manages to slip away unscathed. The cart goes up one more ramp before the cap, and the position is looking pretty decent for Twice in spite of them being 3 down.
It is. If Rambosaurus just keeps capping here, they will get it up the hill, and that is the most painful part actually when it comes to pushing successfully. But yeah, Fishka tried saving the point there, unfortunately with no luck. He does get taken down very quickly. Seems like FANATIC will be having to set up on last here. Twice is pushing in with that massive ad.
Yeah, we do see FANATIC in this upper position. They've got a little pressure down with Matza and Fishka being down and out of position. So Twice are going to capitalize. The Uber popped off super duper early there. It looks like that wasn't quite as communicated as they were hoping for, but they managed to rattle off a couple of frags. The Uber's still not up from FANATIC, so they've got control of this upper now. The car is still moving forward. It's only a ×1 as it stands, but we do see Matza trying to make a little something out of nothing there, trying to infiltrate the attacking lines and make a little bit of a mess, but nothing happening just yet. Twice pretty contented with their current position, and FANATIC just desperate to get their spawners up so they can look to sway off this Twice offensive.
Yeah, if Twice is going to push in here, they're going to have to take out that gun. It's basically a tank, and it seems like they did already take down the tank. Speaking of which, seems like they will be dropping down. They're starting to Uber push, hoping to get a good pick out of it, but it does not seem like it's so lucky at the moment. And they won't be taking down that many super crucial players, and it seems like the meta is still alive for Team Twice. Team Twice, it does have Uber now, and they're going to be pushing back, demolishing, trying to demolish at least everyone. The heavy can be quite tanky at times, and a lot of players from FANATIC are dead right now. This seems like Twice can definitely win this push right here if they play the cards correctly.
Yeah, they've got a lot of bodies around that cart. They're trying so desperately to get onto it, but sacrificing their lives in the process. The spawners just cannot come in quick enough, and that cart is going to go over the line at 4 Twice, coming in at just under 6 minutes there. That is pretty rapid compared to the sort of slip-ups that we saw in that defense that they had. So a pretty formidable start there for Twice, but we've definitely seen some room for improvements on the side for FANATIC. Okay, it does appear as though the teams are pretty keen to get going straight away, so I think we'll park it this time around. And as I say, the timer begins to tick down for the second round of this best of 3, potentially. Again, this time we are going to be seeing Twice attacking first with FANATIC on the defense. They need to learn from their mistakes. They defended just now. They had a little bit, few slips of momentum. They got disassembled pretty hard, and their last hold was nigh on non-existent there. So we'll have to see whether they can do a little bit of fine-tuning and get themselves firing on all cylinders again.
But who knows? Perhaps Twice might even make a mistake during this push this time. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next.
It certainly will be, so we'll have to see what the approach is going to be. FANATIC opting for a pretty passive hold again. It did work for them last time. It really did sway away those Twice bombers at the start there, but we did notice that there was definitely room for improvement there as well. The Spy, just a slight delay from the 2 bombers to open up a bit of time for the Spy to get in position, because they were just expecting it. As soon as those 2 players went down, the Spy was just completely obliterated by those players. So we'll have to wait and see as the gates have now opened. We see a very slow approach from Twice, just looking to move this cart forward. seeing a very, very similar setup again from FANATIC, just looking to spam, erode them a little bit. We see the bombs coming in, interestingly running the Becker's Bazooka, but completely blotted out of the sky by that sentry gun. Did not get anywhere near the combo in those three players, and the spy coming in awful late again. That was a bit of a bit of a tragic sack there. I'm not too sure quite what was going on, but it was definitely something.
Never underestimate a gun, but we do see Odin though getting some good cap time. Cap time is always important. Even though it might be a few centimeters, it's always nice seeing some cap time getting forward, because it's always going to be very useful for you in the future whenever you do play payload game modes in general. But we do see Twice here pushing in with the Uber exchange happening right now. It does not seem like there will be so much success out of that push, very unfortunately. Both sides are fighting for their dear life, but it does seem like Twice will be unfortunately failing the push, with June going down as well.
Yeah, it's not looking good on the attack. They did a little bit of disassembling of the FANATIC defense there, but ultimately not enough. You know, the gun is still up, the medic is still up, with a very slight advantage in hand as well. They managed to get the pyro and the heavy, so that's a big chunk of their anti-aircraft sort of defenses going down there, but doesn't look like they're going to be capitalized. Actually, it does manage to pick off Pig, and we do see Dima coming in for yet another bomb there, just trying to create a little bit of chaos. No Pig glasses up for FANATIC now. They're trying to take control of this corner, but Twice is so painfully weak.
They're going to have to respect the sightlines right here, FANATIC, because Twice can easily make good use of their sniper here while C is alive. Buko is trying to get a good shot onto the enemy players, though. Unfortunately, it's not really hitting that many shots. But does successfully take down K-Cam, and it seems like FANATIC will be backing away. And actually, no, they will be using Uber to push back towards Twice here. Not really much the Uber not really being that useful in the end, and Hu Tao, Little Jessica, managing to escape. Unfortunately, the entire team is dead. Like they're going for kind of a forward hold. Little Jessica is just gonna have to fight like a soldier alone right here.
Yeah, that never ends well there. That was a bit of a tragic Uber coming out of FANATIC. They try and get in with the counter, and then the damage just did not connect at all. And by the end of the Uber charge, they were just in the thick of a wave of healthy Twice players, and now they're just getting run over. So aggressive, locking off that spawn straight away are Twice, and they're looking to mount their way uphill already. Late in that times recap, just keep them ticking by, trying to take control of hill. And we do see FANATIC desperately trying to get some defenses set up. They've got no sentry, but Pig hitting a couple heads is definitely going to be of a little bit of credit. Dima tries to have a little bit of an attempt to get the sniper, but ultimately not to be. Twice understand they don't want to overstay their welcome. They just consolidate, get their health up together again, just wait for the cart to move a little bit further, and then they can think about having another crack at getting up this FANATIC hill.
Yeah, 3 minutes so far on the clock after capping second. We're going to have to wait and see what FANATIC does here on the third, but so far it's not looking super well, but it is a solid time at least. But we will be seeing Team Twice pushing in with this Uber right here, and FANATIC will be using bag. Not really much happening. Mats are failing that stab, unfortunately getting mowed down by a heavy. Very tragic to see, I'll be completely honest. Seems like they will be getting a lot of ground though, Twice, and I don't think this is recoverable from FANATIC.
It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but of course we've seen it before. We've seen stalls on this last point. Of course this third is going to be a little bit of a ride-off this time around, so FANATIC have really got to bank on this. But Sammy is absolutely on a mad one. If there's anything that's gonna slow down, oh sorry, speed up an defense, it's gonna be something like that. The entire combo completely disassembled, an insane headshot there from Buko, completely eliminates. They've got K-Cam. The only limitation is how far back the car is. It's a long way to go, but they've got all the time in the world to try and block off these spawns. You see Sammy in the top there, the sniper's up. There's a slight disconnect. They don't all want to commit. They don't want to overstay their welcome, because we saw them in this position last time, and they all got picked off right by the spawn door. So Twice need to not overextend themselves too much. They need to be with their full Uber charge as soon as that car is somewhere handy.
Speaking of full Uber charge, June does have full Uber charge and will be forced, unfortunately. They will be trying to make good use of their Uber, but they will just have to back away. Unfortunately losing their ground on the tiles. But we do see them starting to spam a bit, hoping for a good pick to come out of it. 30% ad right now for Team FANATIC whilst they're holding 4 minutes 20 ticking down from third point. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens when they cap last here.
Yeah, they're slowly meandering their way in. They've still got control of tiles. We know how important that is, particularly in that first round. So just gonna sort of there's a little bit of a melee going on between Odin and Shadow, but these Twice combo players are just able to rack up the most insane kill streaks as it's going. Sammy and Odin absolutely on one this time around. Their survivability is unmatched for this next round here. So FANATIC desperately trying to get forward, trying to edge these Twice players, getting the cart over and towards the line, but at great cost to their own lives. No demo, no heavy. There is just a scout on the cart, but Twice not coming quite as far as you would hope. The Ubercharge eventually coming out. A real nice combination of jumps to get them into that top spawn area. Just a little bit of cleanup going, but you've got two stalwarts for FANATIC on that cart. You see this pyro coming in. This could be disastrous. The heavy in the pit. June isolated. That was a fantastic recovery there from K-Cam, but Wish eventually does manage to sweep up, and with the full wipe from FANATIC, that is curtains. Twice managing to push that over in 6 minutes 17. I think that's pretty much the exact time they had the first time around, so definitely sticking to a decent pace there.
Very well done. Almost matching both the times, very close to each other. I was watching Sammy sticky trap the top left once again, and he did manage to get a good pick on Kiddo from FANATIC. It was pretty funny to watch, but here we go. Defense for Twice. FANATIC's gonna have to do a much better time than 6:17 here. Are even gonna be, if they even are gonna have a chance on even buying or winning this whole map.
It's definitely going to be a little bit of a tall order, but we've seen it happen before. We've seen many an upset on this map. I know this is a map that you see every single season. It's always week one. It always makes up about 50% of your preseason scrim. So, you know, these players, they should know how to play this map. They should know it like the back of their hands. So, definitely room for upset. But that is a pretty formidable time there from Twice. FANATIC really need to pull something out of the bag here. They need to get a little bit of momentum going. A real solid sack on this first point, momentum into second, that could put them in a real good position right away to see off this round and potentially take it to a third, which definitely not out of the question.
Beshka dying instantly during the pusher, that is very unfortunate. Don't want, but we do see the drop coming in, the sack wave coming in right now from FANATIC. No luck for them. Very bad right now for them. They're just gonna have to get the card time right here and maybe hope that the sniper will be making a play. Kind of a disaster right now for Team FANATIC.
The cuts is moving forward slowly but surely, but a real aggressive approach from Twice here. They know that they've got a lot of time, or sorry, rather a lack of time on FANATIC side to deal with, so they're just trying to erode them at any opportunity possible. And managing to pick up 6 frags without dropping a single player on your side. All your defense is still set up. It's like the Iron Fortress. They were just over this hill, making Buko an insane amount of space. FANATIC's medic cannot even think about moving out of spawn at the minute, but it looks like they want to have a little bit of a go. They know the clock is ticking. Already a medic used. We see the exchange coming out, but look at the aggressive positioning. Del again is a real punisher when it comes to these Uber exchanges, not allowing FANATIC any position whatsoever, completely flaming them down, and oh my god, it's chaos.
That is Axio getting the chain stab on both the demo and the medic. That is definitely going in his frag movie right there. Twice still standing strong on first here. 4 minutes 50 seconds clicking down on the clock. It is not looking good, if I'll be completely honest, when it comes to Team FANATIC, but they can only try their best right here to push out and try to beat Twice's defense.
Yeah, very calculated change of approach here from Twice on the defense, taking down an insane amount of times for a first point. You know, FANATIC knew they had to be quick out of the gates. They chose not to go for any sack waves whatsoever, and Twice positioned themselves perfectly to not allow them to get away with anything they wanted to do. Every single player trying to come super far forward goes down to 50% HP instantly. The upcharge coming out from Twice, and they're just having a little bit of fun with it. Dil Jessica managing to slip that car a few meters forward, which he certainly would take at this stage in the game, but 4 minutes left. It's taken them over 2 minutes to get it this far, and the Ubercharge has, oh, the crits rather, has finally been popped off. They don't get anything for it, and the aggressive position from Twice is still ever present.
This is tragic to watch as a FANATIC enjoyer. It seems like Twice will just be pushing out here and just wiping the team all the time. I think this should be it, honestly, but hey, who knows? Maybe perhaps it will require a miracle for them to push out again FANATIC. They'll probably go for a sack wave at this point. Even their attempt to take down June.
People have definitely fallen victim to their own confidence before, but this could be a tall order even if everything could possibly go wrong for Twice here. We see FANATIC now, they're still 40% away from Ubercharge. Twice do have it, they want to use it, they see the medic out of spawn, and they see a golden opportunity, beautifully coordinated with Axio to get onto the medic. The revolvers don't quite connect, but the cleanup eventually coming in from Wish, and again, they're just knocking off every single person on their hit list. FANATIC crumble again. They can't even get within 10 meters of their own spawn, and they're just getting absolutely decimated by these aggro Twice Ubers, and they put themselves ahead again. It's going to be 40 seconds before that Ubercharge is up from FANATIC, and with 2 minutes 40 left, I think this might be the time you sort of bow your heads a little bit, but it's certainly not over for them. There's certainly an opportunity to garner a bit of morale and get it going again.
Yeah, but we do see the Wiethoofd TF2 on the crit screen right now, trying to build that. Maybe they might get some very cheeky frags for the logs, you know, at the end of the game. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. Uber is soon ready for Team Twice. They're at 96%. They might probably just push it out at this point, and they will.
Oh, yes.
Let's see if the crits will be made use of. It doesn't seem so. Axio just shooting the medic right behind.
Nothing connects.
Absolutely tragic that none of the crits is properly working out for them. Honestly, it's just a GG's at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they are really coming to their element now. Twice, you see, as soon as those Ubers has popped, Axio has stood behind the medic, pistoling at range, and everyone is so focused on running for their lives that the focus on their own medic slips just a little bit. So time ticking down, 50 seconds left to capture this first point. It looks like it has been given up by Twice. They're not overstaying their welcome, although I think their welcome could be extended just a little bit. They're looking to try and get up on this hill. We see Matza on the direct hit, and just going to be a bit of an erosion. Twice got no concerns, just trying to chip away the damage, just trying to slow them down by seconds at a time and just guarantee this win.
Yeah, Twice Wiethoofd TF2 getting dropped once again with that full crits. Very unfortunate to see. I'll be completely honest, I'd be crying right now if I was in Team FANATIC. Seems like Twice will be setting up once again on last year. Fishka trying to go for a med pick there. Unfortunately, that will not be counting on the logs. And the timer has been complete. And it seems like this will be a GG.
That was a painful last 3 minutes of that round. The expectations set the first time around just weren't quite met, but a pretty valiant attempt up to that point, particularly in that first round from FANATIC was pretty solid. But the 6 minute time put up by Twice in that second round seemingly was just about enough to tip all the scales, and it made it look really comfortable. It looked like almost a different match we were watching in that second round. And at this pace and eyeing up the competition, I think Twice could potentially be in the running to better that this time around, and I certainly hope they do.
Yeah, definitely. This season looks very exciting with a lot of different teams experimenting and a lot of solid rosters we see here on the on this Premiership season. Apologies for that brain fart right there, but we can see that a lot of members from Twice did perform exceptionally well. And I noticed that the flag really did perform really well in regards of kill participation and such.
I mean, I think that the log seems slightly skewed by what we saw in that last round, maybe. I think Sammy had a really stellar game on that offensive in the last round. He was racking up so many kill streaks. Same with Odin again.
Spawn camping.
But if you were to say that was the pace for the entire game, I think that would be a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, a very clear sort of representation of exactly what that game state was. Particularly that second round was absolutely draped in tragedy. I can't even pick certain things apart from it because it upsets me too much. I can't do it, Refleks.
Man, I'm with you there, man. We can cry together after this cast. Don't worry about it. But it was definitely a interesting game to watch, though. The first game was quite enjoyable to see how both teams were performing, but on the second round right there, all fell apart, and it really shows how like demoralizing perhaps it could get.
Certainly so.
You don't have a certain good defense.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Of course, we do see now Twice managed to net themselves 6 points from this game. This puts them jointly at the top of the table next to Envision. There is still one game left to play. I believe it's going to be in a couple weeks, so the tables are going to look a little bit funky for a few weeks at the start here, but we'll have to just bear with it and be put on a brave face for now. We would love it if you could tune in, but that has been me. We've got one of the unsung heroes of production, Wiethoofd, on production. So thank you so much for tuning in and have a wonderful evening.